As you probably know, RDJ is back as Doctor Doom, and Hugh Jackman isn't hanging up the claws after Deadpool and Wolverine. Some might say it's the worst Wolverine who got his happy ending in that film, or did he? But that's not what we're focusing on here. Let's stay on track. So remember Cavalrine, that Wolverine variant from another universe that was unforgettable? Well, here's the twist. Most people didn't see it coming, but Henry Cavill is also set to play Captain Britain. Now I know what you're thinking, wait, wasn't he Cavalrine? So why the switch? Stick around until the end to find out how it all makes sense, or you might already have an idea. Anyway, let's dive into what we know about the upcoming Captain Britain movie with Henry Cavill. It all started with a teaser for Brian Braddock in Avengers Endgame. If you recall, during the scene where Steve Rogers and Tony Stark travel back to S.H.I.E.L.'s Camp Lehigh base in 1970, Steve catches a glimpse of Peggy Carter. You can hear Peggy saying, "Braddock hasn't checked in recently," which hinted at Brian Braddock's potential presence in the MCU. In the comics, Braddock becomes Captain Britain after a serious motorcycle crash, so his absence could be linked to that. Peggy could also have been referring to Braddock's father, Sir James Braddock, who was a founding member of the Captain Britain Corps. Even if that's the case, it still teases Brian Braddock's future as Captain Britain in the MCU. In Phase 4's What If, Peggy Carter took the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers and became Captain Carter, who later appeared in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Despite her British background, Peggy wasn't named Captain Britain, so there's still room for Captain Britain to make his debut in the MCU's Multiverse saga, especially since the groundwork was laid in Avengers Endgame. The MCU is gearing up to introduce one of Marvel's biggest multiverse teams, featuring different versions of Captain Britain. This could connect various projects within the Multiverse saga. Since wrapping up the Infinity Saga, Marvel Studios has been diving into the multiverse with projects like Loki, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. While Phases 5 and 6 are set to delve deeper into multiverse mysteries, one major multiverse team is still missing. We've already seen the Deadpool Corps make an appearance in Deadpool and Wolverine, laying the groundwork for other teams from the comics to join the MCU. In Phase 5, the multiverse allowed for fresh takes on established heroes. Loki introduced various Loki variants. No Way Home brought back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, and Multiverse of Madness showcased the Earth 838 Illuminati, composed of variants from another reality. The idea of multiversal teams is expected to play a significant role in the MCU's future, with rumors of teams like the Council of Reeds coming into play. Interestingly, while we're gearing up to see the introduction of the Doom Corps in Avengers Doomsday, we also learned that RDJ will return as Doctor Doom. Plus, Indian actor Dhanush will play a variant of Doom in Doomsday. You might know him from The Gray Man, where he starred alongside Ryan Gosling, Ana de Armas, and Chris Evans. But let's get back to Captain Britain. As we were saying, the Captain Britain Corps is a major multiverse team in Marvel Comics. While Brian Braddock first appeared as Captain Britain in 1976's Captain Britain No. 1, the Corps itself didn't come into play until 1984's The Mighty World of Marvel No. 13. The team was founded by Merlyn, his daughter Roma, and Sir James Braddock, and it consists of various versions of Captain Britain from across the multiverse. Each version of Captain Britain gets its powers from a matrix of exotic particles, which appear at weak spots between dimensions, like those found in the British Isles of each reality. The Captain Britain Corps is known for coming together to protect the multiverse and manage the gateways between dimensions, making them one of the top multiverse teams out there. In the main 616 universe, 3 heroes have taken on the Captain Britain mantle and received the Matrix's powers: Brian Braddock, his twin sister Betsy, and Kelsey Lee Kirkland. Although the core members aren't exactly variants of each other, they'd be a perfect fit for the MCU's live-action adaptation. The Captain Britain Corps might find their perfect spot in the MCU's Multiverse saga. Since the team is crucial for safeguarding the multiverse, it makes sense to introduce them in this era. There's even buzz about former Superman actor Henry Cavill stepping into the role of Brian Braddock after leaving James Gunn's new DC universe, though that's not confirmed yet. There are a few places in the Marvel Studios Phases 5 and 6 where the Captain Britain Corps could make their debut. For instance, in Avengers Secret Wars, which is set to be a massive battle with many heroes going up against Doctor Doom, it wouldn't be out of the question to see Captain Britain show up. They might also get their own project in one of the vacant slots for Phase 6, giving them a big introduction in a solo movie. That said, Olivia Colman's role in the Secret Invasion Disney Plus series hints at a connection to Captain Britain, especially since the character plays a significant role in the British parts of the Secret Invasion storyline. Additionally, Captain America Brave New World could set up Captain Britain's debut alongside the new Captain America, potentially leading into Thunderbolts. If Brian Braddock is introduced, it's likely to happen during Phase 6, possibly setting the stage for a crossover with the Avengers as the Multiverse saga wraps up. Now, some of you might be wondering why Henry Cavill would still play Captain Britain after stepping into the role of Cavalrine. Well, there's some context to this. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Cavill mentioned that he wouldn't take on an MCU role that already has been filled by someone else, but he did acknowledge seeing fan casts of him as Captain Britain and expressed that he'd find it loads of fun to play the character. He compared it to how Marvel modernized Captain America with Chris Evans, saying he'd love to bring a fresh, modern take to Captain Britain while embracing his British roots. So, if Cavill does end up playing Captain Britain, it would be his take on a new version of the character, just like Marvel revamped Captain America. That said, we've already seen actors take on multiple roles in the MCU, especially if they're famous. Take Chris Evans, for instance. He played Johnny Storm in the 20th Century Fox Fantastic Four movie, and then became Captain America in the MCU. We even saw him return as the Human Torch in Deadpool and Wolverine, though his role was more of a nod to his previous character. Another big example is RDJ, who died as Iron Man but is now coming back as Doctor Doom. So Cavill taking on different roles in the MCU is definitely possible. These days, Marvel is all about listening to their fans, and Cavalrine is proof of that. It's clear that the MCU is open to exploring exciting possibilities and bringing in familiar faces for new roles. Additionally, we think the Captain Britain Corps could play a key role in setting up the X-Men in the MCU. Brian Braddock was Marvel Comics' original Captain Britain for the 616 universe, but his twin sister Betsy Braddock also took on the Captain Britain mantle after Brian's defeat by an alternate Captain Britain. Though her time as Captain Britain was brief and she was blinded in a fight with the supervillain Slaymaster, Betsy didn't stop there. As a mutant, she later joined the X-Men and became Psylocke, using her telepathy and psychic weapon abilities. Psylocke was previously played by Mei-Ling Melanson and Olivia Munn in Fox's X-Men The Last Stand and X-Men Apocalypse, but introducing her into the MCU alongside Captain Britain could be a great way to bring her into the fold. Betsy's brief stint as Captain America in the comics makes her story a perfect fit for a short but impactful adaptation in the MCU, helping to lay the foundation for the Captain Britain Corps and setting the stage for the future of the Multiverse saga. This could also mean Psylocke could finally get the proper treatment she deserves, especially given the criticism both of her Fox portrayals faced. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.